Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey everybody, how we doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Pedal Podcast. This is episode number 1101. I always have trouble saying it that way. And today's a Turnback Tuesday episode. You know what that means? All right, folks. Turn back the clocks. Clean up the spokes. This is another edition of Turnback Tuesdays with your host, Bruce Out. All right, there you go. Turnback Tuesday for sure. Today we're going to be wondering, who is Transport Canada? You probably heard Transport Canada. Some of you may have experienced time with Transport Canada. Who is it? What do they do? Why are they here? And why do we want to know about it? Well, you know what? There's so many government agencies, you don't know who falls under what. So we're going to talk about it today. A little history lesson for you right after this. Hey, folks, you hear us talking about RIMS Transport a lot here on the podcast because they've been a great supporter of ours. But you know what? They have more than the flatbed division that we often talk about. They have a bulk tanker division. They have a dump division. And you know what? They don't do any of those East Coast miles like New York City. That's right. They got steady runs down to the Pennsylvania area, all based out of Hamilton, Ontario. So if you're an owner or operator, you're looking for something steady, you're looking for something where you can predict how much you're going to make, and you look for something that's really going to be a good fit for your business and people that want you to be successful, then you need to look at RIMS Transport. Give Ken Robson a call or Margaret Broomfield a call and go to rimstransport.com. You won't regret it, and if you are able to run flatbed, you can look there as well. Lots of opportunities for you, all based out of Hamilton, Ontario. All right, my friends. Hey, make sure you tell them that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you, and we'll talk to you later. All right, so let's find out all about Transport Canada and what they do. This is a bit of a history lesson, but you may not know it if you're not from Canada or you're not been involved in the trucking industry for a long time. Transport Canada is, of course, the federal body for the transportation industry. They work with many partners, MTO, OPPL, those kind of things. But Transport Canada is responsible for transportation policies and programs and promotes safe, secure, efficient, and environmentally responsible transportation. So some of the areas that they really work in, they're in all of the areas of transportation. So aviation, rail, they do consultations. They're in marine transportation, dangerous goods. If you ever hauled dangerous goods, you probably deal with Transport Canada, road transportation, and transportation security. And they're actually getting into things like drone safety, licensing for pilots and personnel. They got all kinds of stuff there if you're interested in what they're doing. We probably know them from the road safety part of it. If you deal with dangerous goods, and I spent a lot of my career in the dangerous goods space, so I've known of Transport Canada for a long time. And when you get into, they're the ones who write the policies for hauling dangerous goods, where you report dangerous goods and stuff, a lot of that goes to Transport Canada. So some of the organizations that they work with are the Canada Port Authorities, the local Canadian Airport Authorities, Buffalo, Fort Erie Public Bridge Authority, NAV Canada, St. Lawrence Seaway. They do Transportation Appeals Tribunals of Canada, the Canadian Transportation Agency, and Ship Source Oil Pollution Fund. These are all some of the administrative and tribunal agencies they work with. And then some of the Crown Corporations, Atlantic Pilotage Authority, Great Lakes Pilotage Authority, Laurentian Pilotage Authority, Pacific, Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, Federal Bridge Corporation, Marine Atlantic, Via Rail. So they're kind of above all of the MTO and other agencies that we see there. You know, they're kind of funneled into Transport Canada. So if you are wondering who's writing the regulations, we often hear of it from whatever province you're in, like the Ontario Trucking Association, those kind of things. A lot of people think they're the ones that are actually doing the policies. They might be doing some, but anything federal would come from Transport Canada. So you'd have to look depending on what policy it is. So, hey, if you want to learn more about Transport Canada, you can go to tc.canada.ca. That's where you can find out. In fact, you can find anything out about Transport Canada, anything you want, but that's where they are. So that's a little bit of history. They've been around for a long time. We've known about them for. I've known about them. I remember when dangerous goods came into effect, they were very big. So I've always dealt with them. You wouldn't deal with them probably on a an average basis, but you never know. All right, here's a message from our friends over at Rosedale.
Hey, everybody. You've heard of Rosedale Transport. Well, they've got tons of opportunities for you no matter what you want to do. You know what? It doesn't matter what terminal, because they have terminals all across North America, and they are looking for owner-operators, truck drivers, and other team members that might be of interest. The best way to find out all the information about Rosedale, the history of a 50-year company that's stable and rock solid in the industry, is to go to rosedalegroup.com. That's right. Just go to rosedalegroup.com, and you can see all the opportunities. Look under the careers tab. You'll see what's available. You'll see they've got 800 employees, 2,500 happy clients, 15 offices, and 50 years of trust. And when you get there and you talk to them and you say, hey, you know what? I want to be part of your team. Make sure you tell them that you heard about it from the Lead Pedal podcast. All right, rosedalegroup.com. Tell them we sent you. Bye.
All right, there you go. So there you go. So you know all about Transport Canada. Well, you know a little bit. You don't know all about it because nobody knows all about it. Anyway, hey, you know what? Thanks for listening to the episodes for sure. Make sure you check us out on the episode tomorrow. It's a really good one. And make sure you follow us. That's the best way to stay up to date. Let's just follow us. We're everywhere. I like saying it that way. Anyway, no, we try to do everything. We try to be positive. So share this. If you know what? The podcast specifically. So we got so many different things. I know a lot of people get confused. We've got Lead Pedal Podcast, which is business and career podcast. We have Lead Pedal Radio, which is more the music and entertainment side. And then we have Lead Pedal Media, which Lead Pedal Media kind of engulfs all of it, but is more of our event coverage side. So we've got three kind of different areas that we play within Lead Pedal. Lead Pedal Podcast started first, so that's why it's been out there long. So if you know somebody who needs some help with business and career information, you don't have to share the whole podcast because we've got 1,100. They're not going to know where to go. But if you've got an episode, just share an episode. If you go onto our website, or actually even on a mobile device, look at the what they call the hamburger bars. Look under there. There's a categories tab. If you go categories, you can pick by category. So if you want equipment information, click on the category for equipment information. If you want how to help your business as an owner-operator, click on the business tab. Those kind of things is what's going to help you. And then share it with a friend. If you think somebody, that's what I do all the time. I see somebody needs some help, I can explain it to them, but I got a whole podcast episode on it. Share the podcast episode. All right, so that's a great way to do it, and stay relevant and know what's going on. So keep those categories in mind. It's a great way to do things. All right, my friends, hey, follow us on social, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. The list is getting longer. I'm not on Threads yet. I'm sorry if you're on Threads. I am not on Threads yet. But we'll get there. All right, my friends, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being out there. Be safe, and we will talk to you later.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.